Hey y'all, True Crime with Sunshine. As always, thanks for tuning in. So today we have a case out of Australia. This is out of Mildura, Australia. My number one, day one, Jody Reason, brings me my cases from Australia. So I want to share this case with you guys today. This is a cold case. This case is over 20 years old. This is the case of Nathan Asher. He died July of 1999. We don't have an exact date. This was a plea for justice from Aaron Riley. This is his brother. His brother was 15 years old whenever Nathan was brutally murdered. Nathan was 23 when he was brutally murdered. His head was smashed in. His ankles, legs, wrists were bound with duct tape, and he was weighted down with a cinder block. He was last seen alive near Swan Hill in Victoria, Northwest. Over 10 years ago, the case was taken over by Unsolved Homicide Squad. Originally, there were 2 men that were charged and were in court going through trial, but 1 week into the trial, their charges were snatched and they were set free. No details why. So he was found in the Wakul River at Diplura 3 weeks after his family hadn't heard from him, and he was reported missing. He was found by workers. His body was battered, and he was floating in the Wakul River north of Swan Hill. Now, you guys know I'm from Florida, or from Kentucky, and I'm in Florida, so I'm not in Australia, so I apologize for any mispronunciations of towns, states, province, etc. This is a really sad case that this family has gone over 20 years with no justice, and the only clues that they have that could bring justice to this family is duct tape, dog hair, and a cement block. They do want to know where the cement block came from. It has mesh wiring around it. That's what I read in an article. I wasn't able to actually find any kind of footage, which these cases, like I said, they're hard to find any kind of information on. You generally get 1 to 2 lines of information, and that's it. I did not see anything on Australia 60 Minutes. I have reached out to them in the past. They are pretty backed up. The lady did explain to me that they're pretty backed up and that they do cases as they get to them. I brought her a couple of cases on my babies that were battered and murdered, and unsolved cases and murdering parents walking free. And while I did look into this case, there are over 20 cases over a 40-year time span that are unsolved. It's heartbreaking. And, you know, guys, the human trafficking that we have here in the States, they also have human trafficking in Australia, and it's really bad. Because sometimes I make missing posters for those kids too, because I have viewers and everybody, you know, all over the world. And, you know, Jody and a couple other my other very loyal subscribers are in Australia. So I guess if my voice falls upon your ears and you were in Mildura, somewhere in the vicinity of Swan Hill, and say you possibly saw something, you could call anonymously to Crime Stoppers. You don't have to give your name. It's the beauty of an anonymous tip. And you could be that one to bring justice to a family that's waited 20 years, over 20 years at this point, for justice. I'll continue to dig and see what I can find on this case. As always, I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for everybody stopping by. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. If you see something, say something. Watch, listen, and speak. Be kind to one another. Remember that you don't know what somebody is going through. So treat others as you would want to be treated. And always remember where you came from. Don't ever forget where you came from. Don't lose yourself in these cases. Don't lose yourself in true crime. But if you guys don't mind, I would definitely appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Just hit it. Hit that like button. Trying to grow the channel. Thanks for being here. Everybody have a beautiful weekend.